Hi, it's Lonnie with Crafty Traveler. Today I'm going to show you how to make this darling Christmas tree and wreath. First, I'd like to show you this quilt. I made it a few years ago. It's a winter scene of animals in an attic window design. The fabric was a panel, and I cut the panel and did the attic windows to frame the animals. I made this Christmas tree last week, and I posted it on my Facebook and also shared it with other groups that I belong to, and everyone just loved it. So I thought I'd do a tutorial. But I'm also going to do the tutorial for the wreath as well. First of all, you're going to need some supplies. I bought this foam wreath from the dollar store. You might be able to find one at the dollar store or Dollar Tree where you live. I also purchased this cone from Amazon, and for $8.99 I got a box of 4 cones, some felt, some little tree ornaments, and a couple of stars, and some pins for $8.99. I'll use the felt and pins for another project. You'll also need a bow for your wreath. These bows I got at the dollar store, and they were 2 for $1. And you'll need lots of scrap fabric. You'll also need a marking pen, scissors, possibly a rotary cutter, and a ruler for cutting your fabric, and also some skewer sticks. I've been using white glue, but you could also use clear. The first thing you'll need to do is to cut your fabric into strips and then to squares. I'm using 2 to 2.5 inch strips. And then I'm going to cut them into squares of about the same. So you'll measure 2 to 2.5 inch to make your squares. And there's lots of squares. You could also use scissors to cut your strips and squares. So let's do the wreath first. You'll need your glue, a skewer stick, the marker pen, and of course your squares. What I did with this one is I didn't really measure where I wanted to put the red. I just kind of did it as I went along. But if you want it to be more precise, you want to make sure you leave room for the bow. And then I would suggest, if this is 12 o'clock, then this will be about 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and about 10 o'clock, approximately. So those are the areas I'm actually going to put red. And in between, I'm going to put the green. So I'm going to do a few red pieces first. And there's nothing at 12 o'clock because I'll put green on there, but that'll be for the bow. So I lay out my squares. And I put little dabs of glue in the center. And you do 10 or 12 of them. And then I'm going to start with red. So I'm going to place the square face down, glue side down, onto the wreath, and I'm going to punch it in. It's better to use the blunt end. There. And another one. Now, with the wreath that I did before, I didn't put any on the back. I just put it around the top, the front, and a little around the center. And now I'm going to put some green down. Same thing. Glue side down, punch it in. As you can see, I'm going around, putting the red where I marked it and the green and another red to resemble a flower. I want them pretty close together when you poke them in, so you don't really see any of the foam. Although this one is green, if you used a white one, you would do the same thing. And every once in a while you can check by looking at it to see where you might need more. I'm seeing I might need some more up here when you look straight on at it. Well, the wreath is almost done. All I'm going to do now is put a little more down here at the bottom. I've been putting these wrong side down, but if you want a little more texture, you could put right side, but this fabric doesn't have a right or a wrong side, and if you're lucky enough to have some batik, they also don't have usually have a right or a wrong side. I like to use different colors of red and green to give it some texture. I think you get the idea. It doesn't take a lot of time. This has taken me approximately 45 minutes to put all this fabric on. And it's something you could do at your kitchen table, or maybe sitting watching TV if you have a little table or a tray that you can use. And you can also, if you don't want to put it on the fabric, you can put it directly on the foam and then punch it in. So there's no wrong way. It's going to be your design. You could do whatever colors you want. If you don't want red and green, you could do white or gold. And so there's the wreath. Now the final step is to put on the bow. And for that, I am going to use a couple of these pins that came with my foam. They're just regular craft straight pins. And I'm going to place the bow here and pin it down. There we go. Okay, and there's the wreath. Pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the tree. Now, with this tree, I started at the bottom, but I left a strip here that I put gold and white to resemble garland. And I haven't put anything on the top because I put gold and white fabric up there. So for this next tree, I'm going to do something just a little different. I'm going to have the smaller cone. It's the same technique, but I'm going to start at the bottom and placing the fabric at the bottom. And again, I like to use different colors of fabric to give it some texture. Okie doke, so I've got the bottom done, the first row. The second row I'm going to do with the gold and white. I found that if I use the sharper, pointier end with this more denser foam, it works better. Okay, I think you get the idea. I'll finish it up and show you when I'm done. Okay, I finished the tree and I'm going to put this little star on it. I did put a pin through the back and I'm going to add some more glue. There we go. So this little tree is a little different, and then it's got alternating rows of green and white and gold. I think it looks a little bit like maybe having snow. So I have two trees now. One's a little bigger than the other. You could have a whole forest of trees depending on how many cones you have. And I have the two wreaths. I hope you liked this video. I would love to see some pictures of items that you have made, either posted on my Facebook Crafty Traveler or here. And don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so and click on the notification bell. And please give me a thumbs up. Share my videos to your other crafty friends. They might enjoy them. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you would like me to video in the future. My videos are going to be about arts, crafts, quilting, sewing, and traveling. Thank you for watching, and stay crafty.